Welcome to Math with Mr. J. In this video, I'm going to cover how to write decimals in expanded form using decimals. And you may be thinking, well, how else are we going to write decimals in expanded form other than using decimals? You can use fractions, so there's a couple of different ways to write out decimals in expanded form. I cover how to write these out in expanded form using fractions in another video. I dropped that link down in the description. But for all of these examples, we're just going to use decimals. And we have 4 examples that we're going to go through together in order to get this down. Now, when I talk about expanded form, that just means that we're going to expand each number out to show the value of each digit. So let's jump into number 1 here, where we have 902 thousandths. And there's a place value chart at the top of your screen. So I'm going to place that number in there. It's going to help us break the number down and really see what the value of each digit is. So we go from left to right. The furthest digit to the left is the greatest valued digit. So that's always where you start with expanded form. And in this case, we have a 0. This shows that we do not have a whole number. Then we have a decimal and then the tenths place. So we have a 9 in the tenths, a 0 in the hundredths, and a 2 in the thousandths. Now, when it comes to expanded form, we don't need to worry about the zeros. So we have 2 digits for number 1 that we need to show the value of. The 9 here, again, we're going from left to right. So that 9 has a value of 9 tenths. And we write that as a decimal like this, plus. Then we go to the 2, which has a value of 2 thousandths. So that's going to look like this. A common mistake would be writing 2 thousandths, just putting the 2 after the decimal, or writing 2 hundredths. So these are incorrect. You need to be careful when it comes to decimals and placeholder zeros. So we have 2 placeholder zeros that pushed that 2 to the correct place, the thousandths place. So there we have 902 thousandths in expanded form. Now, when it comes to expanded form using decimals, there are 2 different ways to do it. So I'm going to show you the second here, and I refer to this as the parenthesis method. So we want to start with the first digit that we're going to show the value of. And in this case, it's going to be the 9 in the tenths. So we start with our 9 and a parenthesis, and we multiply it by the place that digit is sitting in. So it's sitting in the tenths, so we write 1/10 in decimal form. So 9 times a tenth is equivalent to that top expanded form, just 9/10. So those mean the same thing, this and this. And as I write these out, I like to think of it as 9 in the tenths place. Plus, now we need to do our 2. So we write our digit and multiply it by the place it is in, and it's in the thousandths. So we can think of it as 2 in the thousandths place. And 2 times 1,000th is equivalent or equal to 2 thousandths. So both of those expanded forms are equivalent. They mean the same thing, they just look a little different. So on to number 2, where we do have a whole number. So we need to start with the value of that 4, which is 40. Plus, we can skip the 0 in the ones place, so we move to the 8, which has a value of 8 tenths. So we write out 8 tenths. Let's do it the parenthesis way here, where we start with a 4, and it's in the tens place. So 4 times 10, which equals 40, plus we have an 8 in the, or multiply it by, in the tenths. So there you have number 2. On to number 3, where we have 60 and 29 hundredths. So we start with the 6, which has a value of 60, plus we have a 0 in the 1, so we can move to the tenths, and that 2 has a value of 2 tenths, plus the 9 in the hundredths, which has a value of 9 hundredths. Parenthesis method, we have a 6 in the tens place, or 6 times 10, plus we have a 2 in the tenths place, plus, I'm running out of room, so I'm going to come underneath here, and we end with a 9 in the hundredths place. So 9 times 1/100th, which equals 9/100ths. Lastly, number 4, we have 5 and 403 thousandths. So we'll start with this 5, which has a value of 5 because it's in the ones place, plus the value of the 4 is 4/10ths, plus our 0 here, which we can skip, which that 0 is in the hundredths. So let's go to the thousandths, where we have a 3. So it has a value of 3 thousandths. And we can finish off with our parenthesis method here. So we have a 5 times 1, or 5 in the ones place, plus a 4 in the tenths place, or 4 times 1/10. And we wrap it up with a 3 in the thousandths place, or 3 thousandths. Alright, so there you have it. There's how you write decimals in expanded form using decimals. I hope that helped. Thanks so much for watching. Until next time, peace.